Blog Talk Radio.
I'm your host, Davida Shinsky, and you're listening to Live Without Limits. And today's show is titled 15 E-Commerce Trends Every Online Seller Should Know in 2021. When Amazon made its first sale for a book online in 1995, we didn't see the direction e-commerce was heading. E-commerce sales in the U.S. are ever growing, according to eMarketer, and it's expected to hit $6.5 trillion by 2025. Whether you're selling digital or physical products online, you need to always keep an eye on the trends. This will enable you to get more traction, drive more traffic to your website, increase sales, and better position your brand to win. So here's the thing. If you are intimidated by e-commerce and technology and don't know how to put and get a business online, then that's where I can help you, because one of the things that people or that keeps entrepreneurs from really taking their business online is that they fear or have an unfounded reaction to technology. The millennials, Generation Z, they grew up with this technology. They use it and use it effectively in so many ways. It's the baby boomer generation, it's Generation Y. Neither of them grew up in an era where the idea was that you are an entrepreneur. Now, here's the thing, that I tell a story that talks about how the different generations created and worked within the business world. And if you remember at the very beginning of the 20th century, that was when we had a big influx of Europeans into the United States. And what happened? Many of them brought their skills from their homeland with them. And whereas back in their homeland, they lived in little small villages, and they could go door to door to sell their wares. When they came to America, they set up push carts on street corners. And then eventually those push carts became little small mom and pop storefronts. And eventually some of them even became large corporations. The first generation born in this country, many of them fought in World War II, and they wanted to give back to their country, and their children were the baby boomer generations. And within that first generation, that was the outgrowth of the corporation, and many of them went to work for the corporations and worked for 25 years, got their retirement with their gold watch and Social Security, and expected to live comfortably. The baby boomer generation, which were their children, followed their parents into the corporate environment. But after they were working there 15, 20 years, that was about the time during the latter part of the 20th century when what you saw was corporations merging. And as they merged, there was 2 or 3 people doing the same job. So what did they do? Because there was an unwritten rule that when you went to work for the corporation, you had a job for life? Well, what happened? They offered buyout packages to those groups of people, and many of them took the buyout packages. That was also the Y2K era when many of them started their own business. It was the beginning of the dot-com era, and that crashed, but it was a prelude to what we see today. And what we've done is we've come full circle from where we were at the beginning of the 20th century, whereas then your business was on street corners in your local community. Today it's online, and we're truly a global economy, and every economy depends on the other. So whether you're selling digital or physical products online, you need to always keep an eye on the trends. This will enable you to get more traction, drive more traffic to your website, increase sales, and better position your brand to win. What are the latest e-commerce trends? The truth be told, e-commerce reached its all-time demand in 2020. Given the effects of COVID-19, this acceleration is expected to continue as we move into 2021 and beyond. Mobile shopping is expanding. Your customers want to shop conveniently via their mobile phones. Hence, it's important to improve their shopping experiences. More so, since it's estimated that over 73% of e-commerce sales will occur in mobile devices by the end of this year. These figures should inspire you to embrace new mobile technologies and customer service tools to help maximize your sales. Today, consumers trust brands to deliver quality products and services. E-commerce brands such as Home Depot, Three Wishes, and Zappos deliver the best products and offer fair refund policies. And here's what we also need to consider. Consumers feel more comfortable today when they shop online via their mobile devices than ever. Millennials and Generation Z in particular use computers, mobile devices, and the internet a lot. So you can understand why mobile shopping is growing. Young consumers are transforming the online business space. According to this study, 2 out of 3 young consumers between the ages of 18 and 34 are spending money to purchase items online now more than they did before the pandemic hit. They increased their online spending by 57%. In contrast with the older generation, consumers between the ages of 55 and above whose online spending increased by 41%. That said, it's important to pay attention to this younger generation of shoppers. These shoppers are not as naive or indecisive as you might think. They make most of their shopping decisions without asking their parents, friends, or spouses for permission. They can get all the information they need from online resources or learn from online learning and tutoring platforms such as Udemy, Skillshare, and so on. In fact, I have video courses on Udemy and Skillshare, and because my courses were sitting there, I had people who actually work for other online e-learning platforms that what did they do? They went on those sites. They looked for certain courses and who the instructor was and how they could get in touch with them. And what's happened is that I have over almost 11 or 12 companies that came to me and asked me to put my e-learning courses on their platform. and some of them are full-blown programs. And what's happened with that? Very simple. My courses have created a passive income that comes in monthly, just simply because it's a digital product. Therefore, you need to start optimizing your e-commerce store and products for them if you want to increase your sales potential. So where can you find these younger consumers? You need to consider social media networks. This is why I've always told my clients that you have to make sure that you incorporate digital technology and marketing, and social media is very much a part of the digital age and who you sell to and how you gear your message. Gear your efforts towards social media marketing, since more than 50% of young consumers who purchase items from independent brands get recommendations via social media. Conduct robust customer experiments. This e-commerce trend is a wake-up call. If you're not been following your customers closely, it's time to start paying attention to their needs and wants. Conducting rapid consumer research helps you to identify key opportunities for serving your audience better. Now, why is market research? Because you need to gear your message to your customer. That's why you almost need to niche down and know who your customer is and who your target market is. For instance, my target market are entrepreneurs who are intimidated by e-commerce and fear losing income just simply because they fear and don't know how to put their business online. And what I do is I help them take their business online and incorporate all of the tools to make their business run smoothly. Because the difference is, if you have a brick and mortar store, you're only open between the hours that your store is open. But if you're online, you're open 24/7, and you can be earning money while you sleep, or you can be earning money while you're on vacation. Steve Burgess, the co-founder of Big Light, believes that the most effective way for retailers to keep pace with the ever-changing customer needs, preferences, and behaviors involves engaging in rapid customer research to drive innovation. So what you also need is a customer relation management tool that for everyone that opts in to your opportunity or to purchase your products, you can keep a record of who they are and what types of products they use. Simple reason this, that for you, if someone has a birthday or someone has an anniversary or a grandchild or something, a graduation, when you send them something that's a gift, what happens? Well, then you're endearing yourself to them because you remember them. In Burgess's words, retailers are operating in an environment where change is the only constant, essentially driving innovation that will impact customer experience is going to be more relevant this year and beyond forever. Brands need to laser focus on the customer needs, which means listening to customers and taking feedback to help design their concepts better. Whether you're operating your e-commerce business through a remote working team or meet in person, it's the most important to start listening to your customers. They're the reason why you're a brand in the first place. So give them attention. Connect using social commerce. So in 2020, we've seen a surge in Bitcoin payments. This trend is going to get stronger this year and beyond. It offers tremendous benefits for online sellers, such as low or zero transaction fees and no reverse transactions. Smart online stores are already capitalizing on this new payment gateway. For example, Overstock partnered with Coinbase to accept Bitcoin as a payment method from its customers. This year, be prepared to see many online stores integrating cryptocurrency payments options at scale. The trend will also provide extra layers and a guide online shoppers on how to stay safe online while using this new payment option. Dynamic pricing will gain more attention. Did you know that dynamic pricing offers a viable way to attract new customers and stay competitive? It's tailored to pricing strategy based on individuals' willingness to pay in matter economics. So that means for you, well, here's the thing. And this is another thing that people have difficulty with, is understanding what cryptocurrency is. And it's all part of technology. It's how things are changing. The right pricing model can significantly increase the demand for a particular product. If you don't price your product correctly, you'll discourage sales and push your customers away. The right price is mainly the ideal price that your customers are willing to pay based on what your product is worth. You also need to consider what price will offer you in the maximum possible profit. As customer needs continue to change, it's valuable to use dynamic pricing software such as Prism or Omnia Retail to determine the best price for your products. Most of these tools provide a ton of resources and real-time insights into your market, competitors' prices, demand, and the perceived value of your product to help define a benchmark pricing that will make everything and everyone happy. Consumers are embracing environmental topics. Truly, green consumerism is gaining traction. Brands need to recognize this movement to key in. 50% of digital consumers say that the environmental concepts drive what items they spend their money on and where to buy them. Creating a sustainable practices can help an e-commerce brand to stay afloat and relevant in the consumer's minds. When developing an online sales strategy, make sure it's environmentally friendly. For instance, if you sell products on Amazon FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, then imbibe the practice of sourcing products from fair trade vendors, manufacturers, and organizations. This is a great way to create a greener e-commerce space. Consumers will buy more from independent businesses. The truth is that consumer shopping habits have changed. In the study conducted by Shopify, 57% of consumers are willing to purchase from new brands. They want to take the first step to establish a connection. Isn't that amazing? And isn't that great for you? From all indications, online shoppers are switching to independent and small businesses that were affected by the pandemic. Even medical companies that deal with empty capsules and other related products are recording consistent sales already. They want to support them. 37% of consumers prefer to shop with independent businesses that support them than they did during the pre-COVID-19 era. Most independent brands offer quality support. That's why consumers are making this shift. There's also a growing interest in unique products and handcrafted items. For example, over 2.2 million Etsy sellers saw an increase in daily sales during the pandemic, especially as some of them pivoted towards homemade face masks. Personalization is the future. Personalized online experiences drive sales. That's exactly what 50% of shoppers want to see when they visit online store. You want to create the best customer experience. You can't afford to treat your audience like everyone else. They don't deserve and they deserve to be recognized and appreciated. Online shoppers will likely switch to another store if they get poor product recommendations. Remember that recommendations are driven by the consumer's purchase history or browsing behavior. You need to take a personalization more seriously. And all of these are things for you to consider when you are looking at growing your business. From e-commerce emails you send out to your customers, to the online campaigns and information that you share with consumer groups, to your interactive infographics and video content. Use a video maker like promo.com to speed up the process. Make them relevant and personalized to your customers. Visual commerce is dominating. The human brain processes visual information 60,000 times faster than text. That's why the future e-commerce is visual marketing. That means making videos is the way to go if you want to connect with your customers. And remember, many of them grew up in the MTV era when they watched those short little videos. So if you know how to create that type of marketing, it will only benefit you. Selling products online comes with a ton of challenges. With online sales, there's no physical interaction with the consumer. That's why it's tough unless you use visual commerce to engage your buyers. Visual commerce is the next generation of typical static visuals. Companies that sell mattresses now utilize interactive elements in their creatives to engage with buyers a lot better. Good sleep is critical. Hence, online sellers in this industry should get creative with visual commerce. Savvy online sellers no longer use static product photos. They usually incorporate other types of visual elements, such as interactive content, consumer-generated media, engaging videos, and augmented reality. If you're looking to boost your online sales, it's high time to tap into the visual commerce trend. And here's why. 75% of online users in the U.S. search for visual content before purchasing a product online. So you have the chance to make more sales from your marketing efforts if you tap into the visual commerce. Creative advertising will grow. There's a growing trend in the use of 3D and CGI in advertising. It all started in 2020, particularly in the beauty industry. Fran Boyd, art director for Shopify Plus agency Underwater Pistol, believes this trend will continue in the new year. Needless to say, these creative means of advertising products and services online prove to be more cost-effective than traditional advertising strategies. When you capitalize on CGI animations, you create an avenue to be able to edit and improve the final result in multiple ways. Now that COVID-19 restrictions are causing teams and crews to work remotely, CGI Projects have become the go-to option for modern-day advertising. They also smother and smooth out to organize. Another great example of creative advertising in e-commerce is how Ciate London used the outside-the-box strategy to promote their new makeup range. As you can see, the promotion was simple. The team projected a large smiley face onto the Houses of Parliament in London and the Brooklyn Bridge in New York. This happened in World Emoji Day. It gave people the chance to smile at such a tricky time. Excitedly, consumers loved the approach, and the organization saw significant results from their campaign. And online purchases will increase business-to-business products. Many businesses evolve in their digital transformation efforts amid the global changes. Zoom became one of the best webinar software to host online meetings, and since employees could meet at the office, consumers had fewer or no alternative options for buying the products they needed. They turned to online stores to find all the products that they needed, while food, fashion, gadgets, and other essential items were prominently purchased online. They weren't the only items that people needed. Consumers started placing orders for furniture, vehicle parts, and even luxury items used by business executives. And remember this. You can go to my website, and that website is the #1 personalcareercoach.com, or you can go to my website, askdavidashinsky.com, and I have courses that can help you put your business online and help you. Plus, I offer group coaching